Hi everyone, it's me, and today I am going to be talking about the red panda. Red pandas are in the news recently because they were moved to a different order. They're now in the order Carnivora instead of their previous order, Artiodactyla. But don't worry, they've always been in their own family, the Eluridae, so there aren't any new relatives for them. The order Carnivora includes other meat-eating mammals like dogs, cats, bears, and many more. And this change was made due to genetic testing that showed that red pandas are more closely related to these animals than to the even-toed ungulates. In the order Artiodactyla, which include things like deer and cows, it turns out that red pandas are actually more closely related to carnivores than to herbivores. Kind of interesting. Red pandas are found in the Eastern Hemisphere and are currently only found in the mountains of China and Nepal. They prefer temperate broadleaf and mixed forests with sufficient bamboo undergrowth. Despite their name, red pandas are neither red nor a panda. As we can see here, they have reddish fur with black markings, but they are closer to the size of a domestic cat than a giant panda. The name comes from the old French word for red, which is roux. And while they aren't true pandas, they do share a common ancestor with the giant panda, which is thought to have been a small bear-like creature that lived around 8 million years ago. Over time, the ancestors of giant pandas evolved into large plant-eating bears. Meanwhile, the ancestors of the red panda diverged and chose violence, becoming carnivorous. Somewhere along the line, however, they did lose their ability to taste sweet and umami flavors. This isn't too surprising considering that they primarily eat bamboo, which doesn't really have much of either of those flavors. Today, they are largely nocturnal, although sometimes you'll find them active during the day if there's enough shade. They are very good at climbing and spend most of their time in trees where they can use their sharp claws to grip branches up to 2 inches in diameter. These claws are also useful for defense, although they tend to keep their claws sheathed unless they need to use them. If a predator gets a little too close, they will growl, chatter, and bare their teeth. Luckily for them, most predators avoid them because of their bad reputation for being stinky. Red pandas spray a foul-smelling liquid from glands located on their wrists when they feel threatened. They also mark their territory with this spray and rub it on objects like rocks or tree trunks to advertise that this is their space. Their diet consists almost entirely of bamboo, which they locate using their excellent sense of smell. They also eat other plants, but sometimes they'll catch small mammals, birds, or reptiles. If the opportunity arises, though, most of their diet is still vegetation. They are known to be very picky eaters, though, and have preferences for certain species of bamboo. In some areas, they only eat one species, and if that species is wiped out by a fire or disease, the red pandas in that area die off as well. They won't starve themselves, though. If they can't get their favorite type of bamboo, they will switch to another species. But they are so specialized in eating bamboo that they have trouble digesting anything else. Most of the time, they are able to pass the woody parts of the bamboo plant, but occasionally they need to regurgitate their food and try again. Other times, however, the bamboo does not pass through their digestive system at all, and they end up constipated. This means that sometimes they have to seek out laxative plants to help things along. It's estimated that red pandas spend up to 16 hours a day eating. They don't really need to drink water, as they get all the moisture they need from the bamboo. Also, because their preferred habitat is mountainous, red pandas must keep their body weight low enough to navigate the rocky terrain. This is why they're so small. Larger animals would have trouble keeping their balance on steep, uneven surfaces. So, natural selection has kept red pandas relatively small throughout history. They are solitary except during mating season and communicate using a variety of vocalizations. Some of these include whistles, screams, growls, and chutters. Females are only receptive to mating for 2 days a year, so it's not easy to find a partner. Males will often try to force copulations, but females will fight back by biting their snouts or genitals. And no, the babies aren't born from the genitals. The embryos actually develop in a specialized pouch attached to the female's belly. Once a female gives birth to 1 to 4 cubs, she will continue to nurse them for about 6 months. She will also teach them how to climb and defend themselves, but they will stay with her until they are around 10 months old. At this point, they're fully grown, but they continue to learn how to hunt and will live independently afterwards. The average lifespan of a red panda in the wild is between 8 and 10 years. However, they can live up to 30 years in captivity. There are currently around 10,000 red pandas left in the wild, and they are listed as endangered due to habitat loss and poaching. Habitat loss occurs naturally due to forest fires and changing climate, but it is worsened by human activity. As humans move into the areas that red pandas call home, they destroy and fragment the bamboo forests needed for the red pandas to survive. As far as conservation goes, people are working to protect the remaining habitat of the red panda and enforce laws against poaching and the illegal pet trade. One group called the Red Panda Network works with local communities in the forests to educate them about red pandas and help them develop sustainable ways to make money, so they won't need to destroy the forests or harm the animals. Captive breeding programs are also helping to boost numbers. As we said before, red pandas can live for 30 years in captivity, so the individuals bred in zoos and wildlife centers can make a big impact on the population as a whole. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe and leave a like.